Yo, I'm so awkward on camera, it's crazy. What's up, y'all? So I'm back, and in this video, like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips that, you know, the things that I did wrong when I started my business and the things that I did a little bit right when I started my business. Number one, let's get right into it. Let's start with the do's. So my first thing that I would say I did fairly good in was getting educated on like the taxes process, and just your licensing, all the like state regulations, and you know, just regulations in general that you really need to know when you start a business. The first thing that I would say was I definitely knew I needed a business license in order to operate, and I definitely knew I was gonna have to be paying some sort of, you know, sales and use tax because I was selling a product. Now, people who start other kinds of businesses, that's not necessarily selling a product, but they're like doing a service or something like that. You don't really have to worry about paying sales and use tax. But for me, you know, I'm selling hair, I'm selling things online, I have an e-commerce store online, so that's something that I definitely have to make sure I'm paying. I did my research, and I definitely, you know, made sure I talked to people who I thought were pretty, you know, knowledgeable about this, you know, topic, and I got the information that I needed in order to be successful and basically not get behind on my taxes. So that's definitely something that I do think I did right, and I think that you should definitely start off with, because it can be a business all day. You can be, you know, selling stuff and just getting paid cash or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna grow, you need to be doing it the right way so that you can get paid in more than just one way, and you can reach a bigger audience, you know. So definitely think bigger, don't think small. You can start off small, but definitely make growing the bigger goal. And to grow, you gotta be set up right, and you gotta pay your taxes. Pay your taxes, people, okay? Number two was finding a good product. Now, this is something that I went crazy over, y'all. Like, I went crazy. I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of time. I lost a lot of my mind. You could ask my husband, like, y'all, I did not play when it came to getting a good product. And the reason I'm saying this is because, you know, when you're starting a business, you want to make sure that whatever you're selling, if you're selling something that, or if it's a service, like whatever you're selling, whether it be a product or a service, you want to make sure that it's good quality. Like, the worst thing you could do is have good customer service, have a good setup, have a good business plan, and your quality or the product sucks. You know what I mean? It's just you have everything else, but you can't have a bad product, you know? Like, it's common sense. But anywho, so that's one thing I spent a lot of time on, y'all. And I say I took a lot of time because, like, I had the time to spend. Not really, but I had to do it. I was in hair school. I was doing hair in hair school, and technically you're not supposed to do that, but I was doing that because my family had to eat, period. So I was selling hair, I was doing hair in hair school, and you know, the people who was buying hair at the time were my clients, so I was selling hair as well. But it took a while because I would find what I had to do was I kind of had to like finesse the system. So some people just have 1 or 2 vendors. At that time, I was working with like 6, 7, 8 different vendors at a time, because at any given moment, I had to have somebody that was reliable. So I could not just depend on one vendor, have them screw me, or be, you know, waiting on them to get some hair, get a bad batch of hair, and now my client, you know, that's my reputation. I have that reputation of selling a bad product, you know? Like, at no cost was I about to do that. And it did happen over a couple of different times over, you know, these past, 7 years of being in business. But yo, like, it's so rare, and when it happened, like, I'm on it, you know. So yeah, like, I operated with like 8 different vendors at that time, trying to make sure, you know, I had good quality hair. And you know, all of the vendors that I was operating with, they had good quality hair. But the thing is, with vendors and with buying a product, you never know how it's gonna go. So you could have a vendor that's giving you good product for a good period of time, you know, like for 2-3 months straight, and then all of a sudden you start getting bad batches. Like, sis, what happened? I was just getting the good stuff. But that's what happens, yo. Like, so, and that's exactly what happened. And I realized this after, you know, doing my research and talking to other people or taking other classes, you know, at hair shows, from industry leaders in the game, and like, they were verifying the same thing. Like, you cannot be dependent until you find that person. Like, this is why a lot of people go overseas to meet their vendors, because like at that point in time, they know you're serious. They know they're not about to, you know, screw you over. Like they've met you face to face. They've really formed a relationship with you and all types of stuff. Otherwise, like if you're not able to do that, all you can do is communicate through WhatsApp. And you want to build that trust. You want to take that time. You're going to spend a lot of money building trust. And that's just that. Like you're gonna spend a lot of money making sure that you find this good vendor. I know I did, and I know it was worth it for sure, because now I still have, like, you know, a couple people, different vendors that have the same the same great quality product that delivers every single time, that I don't have to worry about. And you know, so that's definitely something, you know, making sure you have a good product, making sure you do your testing, and making sure, you know, the quality is there and the vendor relationship is there. Let's see. Number 3, staying consistent. Whew. Now, this is something that I think I did do pretty good. But at the time, 2017, when I was doing it, like, what, 2017, 2013, like social media, I know Instagram was just like getting off the ground like real good and getting popular, and there was no such thing as, you know, like having a, or maybe there wasn't, I just wasn't aware. There wasn't, like, it wasn't even heard of to like have like this marketing plan for Instagram. Like it was all more so Facebook, I think. But and that just could be like my realm of awareness. We'll get into like different marketing, what's the word? Different marketing, I can't think of the word, so I'm just gonna say ways. Different marketing ways. Different marketing ways that's more effective, possibly. Well, I'm sure is more effective. We'll talk about that in the things that I didn't do, but I definitely think that, you know, at that time, word of mouth was working very well for me. So with that being said, I wasn't consistent on like on my social media platforms. Like it didn't honestly even dawn on me that I should be that honed in on social media. I was unaware, I was ignorant, I was not knowledgeable. I obviously did not do my research, I just didn't know. So that's one thing that, you know, I think that I was doing okay with, and that's only because at that time, that's all I knew, if that makes sense. Obviously now I don't agree, and I don't think that I was doing fairly well with it, but times have changed. Like Instagram is definitely like a huge thing now, where back then it was not. Facebook has like changed and optimized and literally leveled up to where like back then it wasn't like that. So for back then, I definitely do feel like I was pretty consistent with what I had going on, because I made sure like I was in the right arena at all times. And I was, you know, marketing myself word of mouth and making sure the word was circulating. All right, so number 4, marketing. This kind of ties into the same stuff that I was just talking about, you know, with the word of mouth thing. I definitely think that I did a good job with marketing, because I didn't know people at that time, you know, like personally or in my, you know, connections that actually had like a website for like their hair. Like I was selling hair, and I also had a website for selling hair. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a lot of people that I knew that was around, that was in my, you know, competition or anything, that was doing this online, like in an actual website. So I definitely feel like I did a good job with like marketing myself in that way, and, you know, investing in an actual website and getting quality. So yeah, marketing, I feel like I did do a decent job for back then with marketing. Now let's get to the don'ts, and the things that not necessarily the don'ts, but the things that I did wrong that you shouldn't, or that I hope you don't. How about that? So the first one would be setting up my business. All right, so I definitely would say that setting your business up from the jump is way easier. You're gonna save so much time just from like doing your research and making sure you do this right the first time. I did not do this right. I set my business up as a sole proprietorship, and I regret that, because if you're not familiar, a sole proprietorship basically means that you're operating your business as yourself. Like your business is not a separate entity than you. So what that means is that if something were to ever happen to your business, say for instance somebody sues you or decides that they want to sue you, you're not you as a person are not untouchable, since you're linked to your business. If they sue your business, and your business doesn't have it, they legally can come after you and whatever you own, you have as a person outside of that business. So that means like your car, your house, like whatever you own, like you're liable. So it just makes you like a liability, and you never want to be a liability. You don't want to have liabilities. Liabilities are not good when it comes to business. So definitely I would say, you know, setting a business up like that is a no-go. There's a lot of other ways that you can set your business up. For instance, you can become a LLC, you can have a partnership, you can have a corporation. There's so many different other ways that you can set your business up. I would just definitely say to do your own research and don't just go for a sole proprietorship. The reason I did it is because, you know, like I just wasn't educated and I hadn't did my research, and it was also like the cheapest way to go, and in the moment, like I wanted it to happen so fast that I didn't really care, you know, to have the proper education and to really set it up the right way. So I just went with what I could pay for at the moment and what could get the job done quick. So let's go to number 2. Number 2 was not getting the proper education. And it kind of goes back into like, you know, not setting up the business right. Why did I do that? Because I didn't have the proper education. I think if I had taken some more time and really like, I guess research more and found people that I could learn from more, or just dive a little bit more deeper into like what it is I wanted to do and what it is I saw for the business and like the whole vision behind it, I think that I would have, you know, done a lot better with getting a lot more research in the beginning of setting it up. This is stuff like small things that you can do, like watching YouTube videos. You can learn so much on YouTube, hence this video. So yeah, like watching YouTube videos, going to like things that are events that are like relevant to your industry that you can learn from, or meet people that are in the same thing that you're in, doing what you want to be doing. That way, you know, you're learning from them. And then also like taking classes from people who, you know, are where you want to be, taking classes from just anything that's going to teach you more about what you're wanting to be, wanting to do with your business, the direction you're wanting to grow in. Like, take the time and invest in yourself so that you can become educated, you can know all the ins and outs, and that way you don't make mistakes. Another big, I guess, a big resource that you can utilize is your local SBDC. That's something that we utilize a lot. They offer it's basically free knowledge, free help, free basically everything. You can get loans through them, grants through them. They'll help you with a business plan. They'll help you with networking and putting you in contact with people that you need to be in contact for your specific, you know, business. It's a useful tool, and I would recommend anybody, you know, if you're starting a business, to check them out. I'll put a link to their website down in the comments or down in the description. So if you're interested, you know, you can check it out. The third thing that I did wrong was just not having a business plan. And I think a lot of this is like basic information, but looking back in hindsight, I did not have anyone whatsoever guiding me. Like, we was out here getting it from the ground up, like figuring it out from the jump. And with that, like, you make mistakes. So I was making pretty big mistakes, and thank God, you know, my business survived and it's flourishing now. But yo, like, I was making mistakes straight out the gate, and I don't want y'all to be making these mistakes, because like, it's so avoidable, you know, like, it's no reason why you should be making these kind of mistakes after watching this video. Business plans, they're important. You have to have long-term goals for your business. You have to have short-term goals for your business. You have to have financial planning for your business. You have to make projections for your business. You have to have a marketing plan for your business. These are all things that are important, like aspects of what makes a business successful. Not having these pieces of the puzzle, like, you're always going to be missing something. And for a long time, like, I couldn't figure out, you know, what it was that I was missing. And it's because I only had certain pieces. I was missing my other pieces. So I had to take some time to like really like backtrack, rebrand, regroup, rethink, replan, like restart everything basically. And that's what happens when you don't start with a good foundation. So definitely take these words that I'm telling you, write them down, take your notes, whatever you need to do, but make sure like you follow what I'm telling you, the things to do and the things not to do, because I've made the mistakes, and trust me, like, you don't want to make the same costly mistakes if you don't have to. And then the fourth thing that I definitely didn't do a great job at in, you know, the beginning of my business was having a marketing plan. And that kind of ties into like the business plan, but having like a strong and really good marketing plan. If you have that, like, starting a business is nothing, and you'll like, success is inevitable. If you don't have that, it's kind of just like you're winging it, and you have good days, you have bad days, which are gonna come regardless. But like, having a marketing plan keeps you on track when things get rough. Having a marketing plan like explores other avenues for you in case one avenue isn't working. There's just so much to marketing that, you know, you can be doing that can really help your business be successful. So like, for instance, like, I had a website that was a plus for me, but I didn't know how to properly optimize my website so that it could really like work for me. I really was just paying to have a product online that I was selling to somebody. Like, I was not doing ads. I was not reaching out to the people who like was looking at my page. Like, I wasn't tracking anything. I didn't have like optimized like SEO searches. Like, I didn't know anything about any of this stuff. So like, I definitely think that it's something that's super important. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know about any of the things I just mentioned, research it, look it up, because it is important. If that's something y'all want more information on, leave me a comment. I cannot stress how important that stuff is, and I know a lot of businesses don't know nothing about it. So those are my 4 do's and those are my 4 don'ts, my mistakes, my things I did right, whatever you want to call them. I hope it helps somebody. I hope y'all learn some stuff from this. I hope you don't make the same mistakes that I made and have to spend as much money as I made. And I hope y'all have like super successful businesses. I hope y'all go out here and like kill it. I'm sorry, my voice is going away. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. What time is it, babe? It's 2:30 in the morning. I've been up since 4 o'clock yesterday morning, so I was tired. I was really tired. So I'm gonna go to sleep now, and I hope y'all like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I can't wait to see y'all next time. Peace.